Okay, so we're starting with the first one, which is interconverting calories and joules. Remember that the number 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules exactly. Okay, this is a conversion factor. There's no measure of uncertainty, so you don't worry about significant figures with it. It's just an exact. Okay, for example, here's how you would convert energy of joules to calories. So if I had, for instance, 60.0 joules, I'd go 60.0 joules, and I would take, and I do the conversion factor, I would put, that's a J by the way, 4.184 joules on the bottom, and I would put 1 calorie on the top, and then I would cancel joules out. I would take my calculator and say 60 times 1, which I don't really have to do, and then divide it by 4.184. And I would end up with, I have 3 significant figures here, so I report 3 end, 14.3 calories. That would be my answer. So notice the energy in calories. If I were to write it from the calculator, remember we want to make sure that we round to whatever they gave us. So whatever this number is what we want to round it. We do not round to 4 significant figures right here because we divided by an exact number, and because this is a conversion in this equation is exact. So we're not looking at this or this to figure out significant figures, but we're looking at this. This is what we're using to get the significant figures right here, and that's why we report 3. Okay, so using 2 conversion factors, you can change any prefixed form of joules to and from any prefixed forms of calories. For instance, if you were able to convert, let's say, 30.0 kilocalories to megajoules. Megajoule is given right here. A kilocalorie, remember there would be 1 kilocalorie. There are 1,000 calories. And a kilocalorie is also equal to 1 big C calorie, and that's a calorie like we know from nutrition. So instead of writing kilocalories, they just do a capital C, but they're the same. So we would take our 30.0 kilocalories, and then we would use these 2 conversions to be able to go back and forth. So I'd use 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1,000 calories. Then I would come back up to our 4.184. So in 1 calorie, there are 4.184 joules. And this is something I would probably put on my card. Calories are canceled, kilocalories are canceled. Now here I'm going to go to megajoules. So I would say there's 10 to the 6th joules in 1 megajoule. And then I put it in my calculator. As long as I only have one number on the bottom and it's not times by anything, I don't need to use parentheses. But if I have more than one number, or if it's 5.2 times 10 to the 6th, I need to use parentheses on the bottom. So I'm putting in my calculator. I would put 30 times 1,000 times 4.184, and then I would divide it by, and you can use parentheses if you want to, 10 to the 6th power. Make sure you come down and hit enter. Now, if you're following along with me, you should have got 0.12552. That's calculator throw up. Okay, we only want 3 significant figures, so we look to this one, which is the third one. It will round up, so I should report 1.126, and that would be megajoules. Okay, so when you get to your problems, this is what they're going to look like. They're just going to give you itchy nose. They're just going to give you a table, and you've got to do the calculation. So that's why I left some room on the side here. So to go from calories to kilocalories, all we have to do is 1.10 times 10 to the 5th calories, and there's not enough room, so I'm going to do it on the bottom here. And then I know there's 1,000 calories in 1 kilocalorie. And if I put that into my calculator, this is like 10 to the third. 5 minus 3 is 2, so I'd end up with 1.10 times 10 to the second kilocalories. And that's what I put here. 1.10 times 10 to the second. Then to go from kilocalories to kilojoules, you can also do 1.10 times 10 to the second kilocalories. You can still use, for every 1 kilocalorie, there's going to be 4.184 kilojoules, because I put 1,000 on top and bottom, so it still cancels out. So then I just times that through, and I end up with 1.1. Again, to 3 significant figures, 4.60 times 10 to the third. Okay, and then you can start here at kilocalories and go backwards. So if I have that many kilocalories to go this way, I'm basically going to times by 1,000. So I'm going to end up with 3.00 times 10 to the fourth. And if I'm going this way, I'm just going to take that 30.0 kilocalories, and I'm going to times it by 4.184 kilojoules, divide by 1 kilocalorie, and I'd end up with 126 kilojoules, because I'd round up. Now this one, again, here we're starting with kilojoules, so 920 with the decimal kilojoules. Now this time, that 4.184 is going to be on the bottom, because I want to get rid of kilojoules, and 1 kilocalorie is going to be on the top. So I'm going to take and divide 920 by 4.184, and I end up with 220 with the decimal, because I'm doing it to 3 significant figures. And then to go to calories, I'm going to times that by 1,000, and I'll end up with 2.20 times 10 to the fifth. Okay, let's do another one. So they just give you a whole bunch of these, and you just got to know how to go back and forth. So the next one here, we've got kilocalories. To go this way, we're going to divide it by 1,000. Okay, so dividing by 1,000 is like dividing it by 10 to the third. So here we are going to end up with 1.25 times 10 to the second. And then to go this way, we're just going to times it by 4.184. So again, if I set it up over here, 0.125 times 10 to the second kilocalories, 1 kilocalorie, 4.184 kilojoules. So I'm just going to plug that in my calculator, 1.25 times 10 to the second times 4.184. Oh, and I ended up with something funky because I forgot to come down. Okay, 523. All right, so here again, going this way, we're going to times by 1,000, or 10 to the third. So we're going to end with 4.50 times 10 to the fourth. Going this way, we're going to times by 4.184. So 45 times 4.184. We end up with 3 significant figures, 188. Down here, now we're going backwards. We're going to divide by 4.184. So as I'm setting it up, 58.6 kilojoules, and I would put 4.184 kilojoules on the bottom and 1 kilocalorie on the top. So that's how I'm doing that one. So 58.6 divided by 4.184, gives me 14.0 kilocalories. And then again, to go this way, we're going to times by 1,000. And so I'm going to get 1.40 times 10 to the fourth. All right, rolling up. So on this one, same kind of thing. Going this way, we're going to divide by 1,000. So here we're going to get 4.05 times 10 to the second. To go this way, we're going to times by 4.184 and 4.05 times 10 to the second. I always hit enter and then I do the next part. Times 4.184 gives me, and it's bigger than 1,000, so put it in scientific notation to three significant figures, 1.69 times 10 to the third. Okay, then here, going backwards, we're going to times by 1,000. So it's going to be going to need to put in scientific notation. So 1.15 times 10 to the fifth. And then, and this one right here, we could have written as 405 because it's under 1,000. However you want to do it. Again, timesing 115 times 4.184 to three significant figures is 481. So I'm not writing over here anymore. I'm hoping that you'll get what we did up above. But if you need to write it out, do it. So here we're going backwards. So remember here we're going to divide by the 4.184. So I'm going to just set that one up again because that's a little different. We've got a limited amount of time on this. So 151 kilojoules, and then I would just do 1 kilocalorie on the top because that's what I want to go to, and I put 4.184 kilojoules on the bottom. So kilojoules will cancel. So 151 divided by 4.184, and I end up with 36.1. And I take that 36.1 and I'm going to times it by 1,000 to get to the next one, which will put it 3.61 times 10 to the fourth. Okay, let's see if we can get through the next one. Nope, we're done with that one. So we're going to stop. If you need more help, let me come in and we'll work through.